Good morning, girls. Uh, as we have discussed in the last class, we have started what a tree is, right? So before coming to tree, we have seen what connectivity is, what a path is, circuit is, uh, like what is the degree of a vertex. So based on these definitions, now we are going to learn few more definitions which are related to trees. All these were related to graph. So a tree is nothing but an acyclic graph. I mean a graph which doesn't have any cycle, which is not having any circuits in it. So based on these uh, definitions only, we will be learning the next uh, definitions or terms related to trees. So please, if you have any doubts regarding this, do listen to the previous video and then come back to this class and listen to this video, right? So what are trees? So a tree is nothing but a cyclic graph. An acyclic graph is called a tree. Why? I mean, that is nothing but a graph which is not having cycles. I mean, circuits is called a tree, right? So trees are useful in describing the hierarchy, like our family lineage or how our family tree will be, or the positions, hierarchy positions of an organization, like who are the workers and who will supervise them and who are the head of these supervisors and under whom these managers work, who is the person who has established this I mean like CMD. So how the uh, like um, whole organization working will be shown in this tree. I mean hierarchy structures, which are best represented in the form of a tree. So what is a tree? So a forest is a graph that contains no cycles, and a connected forest is a tree. So you can use these terms forest and tree. Um, I mean vice versa. So a forest is a graph that contains no cycles. So this is a forest, this is a forest, this is a forest, or these three can be individually called as trees. So a connected forest is a tree. So if we connect these three together, it is also a tree. If they are individually also called as a tree, these three together are called as forest. See, this is a forest with three components, each of which is even called a tree. So trees and forests are simple graphs. Simple graphs in the sense which do not involve any cycles, which don't have any cycles or circuits. Next, these are the terms which are related to a tree. So directed tree. So an acyclic directed graph is a directed tree. I mean with a tree where or a graph in which the directions are specified is called a directed tree. If it is not, I mean no directions are specified, then it is just a tree. If directions are specified, then it is a directed tree. And an acyclic, I mean which is not having any cycles, which is not having any circuits, then it is called a tree. If it is having a cycle or a circuit in, then it is a graph. Next, a directed tree has one node called its root with in degree 0, whereas all other nodes, the in degree is 1. So once you have to remember what a degree is. Degree is nothing but the number of edges which come into that node or which take birth from that node, I mean which start from that node. So what is in degree? The number of nodes which are coming into it. I mean next, out degree, number of nodes which are starting from that node. So in degree, so every edge, see, every edge will have a starting point or initial point and the ending point or terminal point. So for this node, there is no starting point and no other edge is coming. It is the starting point. Then there is no in degree for this node. The out degree for this node is 1 because from there an edge has started. So the out degree for this particular node is 1, and for this particular node the out degree is 2 because two nodes have started from this particular node. So that is what is in degree and out degree. Next, terminal node. So why and why? Or the First node, see this node is called the root of the tree. Every tree will have compulsorily it will have one root, and that root has 0 in degree because it is the starting node. No other the edges are coming into it. The edges are starting from it. If they are spanning from it, no other edges are coming into the root. So the in degree of the root is 0 and the out degree can vary. So for always for root the in degree is 0, and for other nodes the in degree is 1. For other nodes the in degree will be 1. If it is more than 1, then automatically it will become a cycle. Next, terminal node. So what is terminal node? In a directed tree, any node that has an out degree 0 is terminal node. I mean, no further nodes are spanning or drawn from it. So it is the last node. No other edges are drawn from it. Such a node is called terminal node, or it is also called as leaf node or external node. Any name can be given to it. Terminal, leaf, or external node. Next, branch node or internal node. All other nodes whose out degree is not 0 are called as branch nodes. So the other nodes which are not the end, I mean, whose out degree is not 0, I mean, there are nodes which are starting from that particular node. Such nodes are called branch nodes. So root, terminal node, branch node. Next, level of node. So the level of any node is its path length from the root. So what is the node of that particular, what's the level of that particular node is nothing but the path from the root. If you count the number of edges, that will give the level of that node. See, the level of any node is its path from the root. The level of the root of a directed tree is 0, obviously, because with a root that is the starting point of the tree. So there is no further traversal, so the level of root is 0, whereas the level of any node is equal to its distance from the root. So always, how will you calculate the level of a node? Its distance from the root. So how will you calculate the distance? The distance from the root is the number of edges to be traversed to reach the root. So from that particular node, by traversing how many edges you will go to the root, that will make the level of the node. So what is a tree? General tree, the definition of tree we will see here. A tree A tree T is defined recursively as a set of 0 items is a tree. It is called empty tree because there are no items in it. So it is null tree or empty tree. Next, if T1, T2 up to Tn are n trees where n is greater than 0, I mean it is not an empty tree or null tree, and R is a node which is called root, then the set T containing R and the trees T1 to Tn are called tree. Okay, so the set which contains T and R, where R is the root and T represents trace T1 to Tn, then that particular set is called a tree. So R is root and all these T1, T2, T3, T4 up to Tn, whatever sub or trees are there, all these are called subtrees. So these are the terms that you have to keep in mind when you are dealing with trees. So these are repeated till the end of this chapter. So tree, if it is not having any nodes, 0 items, it is an empty tree or null tree. If it is having items, I mean nodes, n is greater than 0, then you can have t n trees which are called subtrees, and for all these trees there should be one root called r, which is called root node. See, here we are seeing 3 different kinds of trees. See, there is no node here, it is null tree. So we have one single node A, which is the root and which is the only node existing in that tree. Excuse me. Next, this is a actual tree with a number of nodes. Okay, so let's see. See here in the figure, in this third figure we have 16 nodes, and this 16 nodes are divided into different subtrees. Okay, the root node has four subtrees. See, this is the root node. The first and foremost node in any tree is called the root node, from where the actual tree starts. Okay, so this is the root node, and these are the subtrees, sub nodes or node. C, D, E, F. Okay, so it has four children, sub or four subtrees. The roots of these subtrees are called the children of the root. See the root, again this is a subtree, and again this is a subtree, and this is a subtree. So these roots are called the children of the root, same like our family tree. So this will be our grandfather. These are the children of the grandfather, and one grandfather is not having any children, and this grandfather has only one child, and this is his next family tree. If they are having children, and their children, great grandchildren, great grandchildren. So this is how your family tree structure looks like. Okay, so what are the terms associated with it? We will see. So there are 16 nodes in the tree. So there are now 15 non-empty subtrees. The number of subtrees that can be generated from this 16 nodes is 15. So n minus 1. So the node with no subtrees are called terminal nodes, or are more commonly leaves. See these nodes, this G, M, N, I, J, O, P, Q, L. There are no further nodes under these nodes. So these nodes which do not have any subtrees are called terminal nodes. The end. Terminal nodes are also called as leaves. So how many leaves are there here? So this is also not having any subtree. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So all these are called leaves. Okay. Next, the degree of a node or is the number of subtrees it has. So for a particular tree, for a particular node, what is the degree? If you ask us, if you have to tell what the degree of a tree is, it is nothing but the number of subtrees it has. So here there is no node, so no subtree. For this also there is there are no subtrees, so the degree is 0. And for this particular tree, or for any node, how will you calculate the degree? The number of subtrees it has. So for this E, what is the degree? It is 2. So because it is having 2 subtrees. Next, for B, what is the degree? It is 4, because it has 4 subtrees. Okay, so by definition the degree of leaf node is 0. Yes, because for leaf nodes there are no subtrees, they are the end nodes, they are terminal nodes. So that is the reason they are called leaf nodes. So automatically the degree of each leaf node is 0. So degree of a tree is the maximum degree of a node in the tree. So for the whole tree, uh, the node which has the maximum degree will be the degree of the tree. See, for this node, say for K, the number of subtrees is 3. And if you take any node, for E, the number of subtrees is 2. For B, the number of subtrees is 4. So the highest number of subtrees in this tree is for B. So this is the degree of the tree, which is 4. So the degree of a tree is the maximum degree of a node in the tree. Next, since family relationships can be modeled as trees, the root of the tree is called as parent, and the roots of the subtrees are called children. So these are called children. Okay, so this is parent and these are children, and for again this tree, this is parent, these are children, and for this these two trees, this one and this one, this is parent, these are children, like that. So the root is called the parent and the uh, subtrees are called children. The children of the same node are called siblings. See, these for E, you have two siblings of same node. Again, G and H are not siblings because their roots are different, their parents are different. The children of the same node, H and I are siblings. Next, J, K, L are siblings. Next, O, P, Q are siblings because they have the same root as the parent node. J and O are not siblings, or J and I are not siblings because they don't have the same node as the root. Okay, next. Yeah, so and one more thing you have to keep in mind is the path that you traverse. See, for example, to reach Q, what is the path you have to travel from B, F, F to K, and K to Q. So this is what is called the path of the tree. So there can be many paths in a tree. So to travel M, you have to traverse from B to E, E to H, H to M. So in this way, there are so many paths for a particular tree. And again, if the tree is a directed tree, the path direction will be different. If it is an undirected path, then you can traverse in any direction from top to bottom or bottom to up. Okay, next, ancestor and descendant. So this is called the ancestor and these are called the descendants. This is a descendant and this is the ancestor. For this is the ancestor, and for this is the ancestor. So you have to keep in mind these terms, ancestors and descendants. First node is called the ancestor, the second node is the descendant of the first. Okay, so what is the length of a path? It is nothing but the number of edges it contains. So see, what is the length of this particular path? See, from B to 3 if you take, so what is the length? 1, 2, 3. So you have to traverse 3 edges to reach P. So the number of edges here is 3. So the length of this path is 3. So the length of a path is nothing but the number of edges it contains, which is one less than the number of nodes on the path. Yes, if you count the number of nodes we are here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So n 4 minus 1, so number of edges is 3. So this is how you can calculate the length of a path by using the nodes as well. Next, the depth or level of a node is the length of a node, which is the length of a directed path from the root to that node. So you can what depth is. Depth is nothing but the length of a directed path from root to that particular node. See, for this particular uh, node K, what is the depth? 1, 2. So from the root to reach K, what is the length? Length is nothing but the number of edges. So 1, 2. So that will be the depth of this particular nodes. Next, the height. The length, maximum path length in the tree is called the height. Say that. Next, the level of the root of a tree is 0 and the level of each child of the root is 1. Say the level of the root is 0. Yes, the level of each child of the root is 1. And if you go down, if you traverse deep into the tree, the levels will increase. Okay, again, when you want to list the nodes, write the nodes in particular order, that is called traversing. You have 3 ways to do that. One is pre-order traversal, next in order, next post order. We will see these traversals in detail in the next class, and we will also see the actual definitions of the, what a subtree is, or how, with examples in the next class. If you have any doubts, ping me in the group.